Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking a look at the Tier 7 British cruiser, the Fiji, and I really have to say I enjoy the Fiji very much. I think it's slightly more improved than the Leander. I think the British cruisers are growing up. I have no idea why I'm going with this metaphor, but the Fiji is definitely a fun ship, and she's still fun even though she's not upgraded. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm definitely looking forward to upgrading her. So let's quickly look at the stats. Starting off, you have a hit points of 27,500, and once again, the armor is nothing really to speak of. At least your citadel does sit definitely below the water, but it's fairly huge. You can see how long it's covering the majority of the ship right now, so you do not want to show that broadside at all. Now the Fiji is the first cruiser that gets triple turrets, so the Fiji is the first British cruiser that gets triple guns per turret, and so this definitely improves her firepower because she can pump out 12 shots every salvo. And they're 152 millimeters. Reload time is 7.5 seconds with a turn time on the guns 23.4 seconds. Max dispersion is 120 meters, so fairly tight. Max AP damage is 31,000, good lord, 3,100. With a firing range of 14 kilometers, and their shell, once they get flying, they do tend to slow up, so something you do need to keep in mind. Now, her secondary guns, they're pretty nice. They have a range of 5.3 kilometers with a HE shell damage of 1,500 and a 6% fire chance with a reload time of 2.7 seconds, so not bad. Torpedoes, you have 2 on each side, 8 kilometers. Reload time is 72 seconds. And max damage is 15,433. So yeah, pretty nice. I've taken out Gneisenau's with these torpedoes. They do a phenomenal damage wise. Now they're not the quickest in the world, 61 knots, but definitely a lot better than the Russian torpedoes. AA, you have 5 20 millimeters of the Orlikins, 6 dual 20 millimeters of some more Orlikins, and then you have 2 Octo 40 millimeters. These guns look so badass. Look at this. 8 guns on that. And damage wise, they're terrible. 48 average damage per second. Not the greatest in the world, and they only have a range of 2.5 kilometers. Your secondary guns are probably going to be your best bet with a range of 5 kilometers. So still kind of cool seeing those guns with 8 or AA guns with 8 guns on them, so still pretty cool. Speed, 34.1 knots, so definitely a lot quicker than the Leander. Turning circle radius, 590 meters. Rotor shift time right now is a little bit slow and sluggish with a shift time of 9.6 seconds. And concealment is alright. It's a little bit bigger than the Leanders, obviously, by 1.2 kilometers, so 11.2. It's something you do have to be aware of because starting off, your range on your artillery is 14 kilometers, which you can definitely get increased. So do be aware of that, and always be aware when to pop smoke because this will probably save your life. You can see I've got at least the hull upgraded. Haven't actually placed it. And as usual, you always want to get your smoke generator. Always go for the premium because you want that additional charge, plus that quicker reload rate is definitely what you need. So smoke screen lasts for 130 seconds, so that's a minute and 33, so you have plenty of time to actually pump out shells. So yeah, Fiji, I think it's a fun little cruiser. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her upgraded and moving on to the Edinburgh, which, oh, that's going to be interesting. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into replay. I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to your replay with Fiji, and this was the very first game that I actually played with her. So we are currently playing on Trident. We have a Ranger, Nagato, New Mexico, Warspite, New York, Koenig, Fiji, Myoko, Leander, Omaha, Königsberg, and then Anshan. On the enemy team, there is a Saipan, Nagato, Bien, Fuso, New York, Koenig, Pensacola, Nachi, Alba, Emerald, and a Farragut and Fujian. And I have to say, I really do like the Fiji, more so than the Leander. I just feel like she's has a bit more potency to her, I guess you could say. She definitely has a lot more strength compared to the Leander by far, especially the additional gun does help, but it feels like her shells will actually penetrate. Like for example, I did have a example of a North Carolina showing me broadside, and within the time I could fire, I did well over 20,000 points of damage to him, mostly hitting his mid-belt and his superstructure. So you can do considerable amount of damage. Now the Fiji, you can see I'm detected, and more than likely it is one of the destroyers, so I do have to be careful. I am moving towards this island. Now, I really have been noticing, especially since I've been playing it, that you move towards islands, you really do look for that cover. And sure, as soon as they see a British cruiser, everyone decides to start shooting at me. So, yeah, not particularly fun. But there is a Pensacola, just hoping he'll show us a broadside. And it looks like someone actually did nail him for a Citadel. But we're decent damage. But you can see how thinly the armor is. We've already lost almost 8,000 points of damage right there. And we get a Citadel on that Pensacola. So, he's not going to be around for very much longer. Fortunately, we didn't get one there. Can we please kill off this Pensacola? That would be fantastic. There's the Emerald. I do switch my attention over to the Emerald. Hoping to be able to take him out. And it looks like the Pensacola did go down. And there is the enemy Farragut. I believe it's a Tier 6. Yeah, Tier 6 U.S. destroyer. I'm still learning the tiers on the U.S. line, so do forgive me if I'm off every now and then. And I'm using the smoke to my advantage. I do have a habit sometimes of backing up too much. And you can see this BN, he is kind of focused on where my smoke is. His guns are pointed at us. And that was a horrible salvo, apparently. Quite terrible, actually. We didn't get any damage. Now I'm hoping to get some penetration damage, and I'm still learning the flight time. It looks like the British cruiser line, their shells are very lazy in the air. We did get a decent amount of damage, almost 3,000 points of damage there, 2,000 there. So kind of nice. I am concerned about this Farragut. He's kind of close for comfort. I don't exactly remember or even know the firing range on his torpedoes, but we definitely need to move. Our smoke is up, and as soon as we are detected, the BN opens fires on us. And yep, there they come. Yep. Oh, need to dodge this. Fortunately, didn't actually get that much damage, but we are getting hit by someone in front of us, probably the Alba. Let's see if we can punish him. That would be nice. And, oh, wow. That's a lot of battleships in front of me. It's a New York, Nagato, and a Koenig. But this Alba is being so nice that he's showing us the broadside. 4 Citadels, 1 dead Alba. Now, my smoke is currently on cooldown. And, ooh. Got hit right there. Now the Emerald's firing at us. I did get off 2 torpedoes, hoping to get that Koenig, because the torpedo range on the Fiji, and even the Leander had it, was 8 kilometers. So I'm hoping that my torpedoes will actually hit, but we'll see. Our smoke is finally back up, and you really do have to be careful with the British cruiser line smoke, because there's kind of a bug around right now that, for example, I think I talked about it in my Leander review. If you're going too quickly, sometimes the smoke will only puff 1 time, and you don't get that 2 puff. I think the amount of puffs you get is 2.5. Sounds like I'm talking about a drug or something, I swear. So, switching my attention on this broadside New York, I'm finding that at least the British cruiser line kind of has issue at longer range. You really do have to lead the target just to land it at this long range. Fortunately, it's in New York, so they're fairly slow to actually move. So shots on the New York's not too bad. Now the Koenig is actually staying by that island and trying to, I don't know, I guess he's just concerned that there's 2 battleships to the left of him that he doesn't want to get hit. I don't know. I don't know exactly what he's doing. Fortunately, New York's still showing us broadside. Ooh, looks like he got a big citadel from a friendly battleship. I'm actually kind of curious who probably did it. It was a Nagato. Ooh. Yeah, you really do have to be leery of these Japanese battleships because, especially the Nagato's a great sniper. So, dispersion isn't that bad. And they have fairly big shells. The Nagato, I think, gets the much larger caliber on the guns compared to the Fuso. So you do have to watch out for the Nagato if you're giving him a broadside. Now, doing decent damage, my smoke's actually starting to dissipate. And once again, soon as anyone sees a British cruiser, they will probably open up. So I'm taking really big steps in the other direction. And yep, there's the Koenig shells. Fortunately, he missed quite a bit, actually. Fortunately, I didn't take any damage there. Now, for some odd reason, I don't know why this Koenig just now decides to move north, but now he's pretty much in range of both our battleships. But I think our battleships are probably behind that island there. And he really wants me dead, I've noticed. He really wants me dead. Get decent damage. Superstructure damage, not too bad. About 2.2k. Not terrible. And you always want to be careful. You always want to use your cover as much as possible. The islands are your friends for the British cruisers. Not saying that any other ships can't use it, but especially the British cruisers, they really do need it. Now, for example, this Koenig is so dead. Yeah. And Shen just annihilated them. I was playing my Fiji a little bit earlier today, and I was going up against this ARP Hakaym. And I kept using my smoke screen because obviously you need your smoke screen. Now, I came around the island, was slowing up to pop my smoke screen. Popped it, and the Hakaym got off a salvo of AP. And I went from full health to, I think, 1,000 or 2,000 points of health on my Fiji. And I got away a torpedo spread and killed him. And then he got all salty about it. And he's like, those torpedoes weren't even close to me. And why do you keep popping your smoke 5 times? I'm like, it's because it's a Fiji. It's because it's a British cruiser. For instance, you saw a salvo of AP just took me from 27,000 all the way to 2,000. I'm like, that's what you have to use. That's the primary benefit the British cruisers can actually use is the smoke. You have to use it. If you don't, you will die very quickly because everyone sees the British cruiser and they're like, oh, must shoot at. It's almost like you're a Pepsi Cola every single battle. So you really do have to be aware of your situation, where ships are, and when to use smoke. Now I'm using this island to my advantage. I don't want to open fire because I don't want to give away my position because both the Nagato and the Fuso have excellent range. Oh, sorry about that. They have excellent range, so rather not have them take pot shots at me. And even at this range, I mean, this is easy range for the Nagato, 13.2 kilometers. Very, very easily could do serious damage to me. Now, we are spotted by the enemy CV's fighters, so I do have to be careful about that. But it looks like almost all the enemy team is actually running south. And I don't really understand why they're doing this. Like, they are giving us so much ground that we're able to actually get into their cap and possibly start capping. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to have to be leery of the Nagato and the Fuso. But I think the Fuso on the enemy team is actually fairly new. I think it's stock, if I remember correctly. We do get a decent hit on that Emerald. Do knock out a gun. That is good. And, yep, see, Nagato sees me, sees the British cruiser. And he's like, must shoot, must shoot. So I'm going into the cap. And I'm going to go ahead and pop my smoke. We are definitely winning this battle by far. You can see we've taken out half their team, and they haven't taken out any of us. So I think this should be a fairly easy victory. Now, we do have to be leery about one thing, and that is the enemy destroyer. We haven't seen the enemy destroyer in some while. Last time we saw the Fujin, he was kind of in the middle of the map. You can see that outline there on the map itself. And if I was that Fujin, I would probably move to the cap. That would make the most sense. I mean, the team's losing, and the only way they can win is if they cap us out. Still would be extremely difficult. Too many ships on our team, but you never know. Now the Emerald, I guess he finally found his bravery, because he's turned in, and he's gonna start rushing us, which is a very foolish mistake, I guess. I guess this is part of a desperation attempt. So land a good hit. We got Confederate, very nice. Sitting at about 73,000 points of damage, and yep, you can see the Fujin is actually in our capping us, and the Anshan is fortunate enough to actually go back up there, so he should be able to take care of this Fujin. Should be able to. Now this Emerald is firing at me. I really don't know why he's firing at me. Like, there's other cruisers that are, you know, more broadside, like that Omaha there, who does take out the enemy Emerald. Now the Fuso, yep, is definitely stock. You can see he does not have the pagoda that you normally see, so he probably also has limited range. Now our smoke is out, so we need to get moving. The Nagato's actually coming around the bend, so yes, you need to get moving. Now, the Fujin does take out our Enshin, but the Enshin does take out the Fujin, so that's good. We no longer have destroyers, and the Nagato is firing on us once more. Thanks. So I start turning in. Fortunately, looks like that is probably actually over penetration. So, don't have to worry about that. And that Fuso, that poor Fuso, he is showing so much broadside to all our battleships that he's just getting melted away. This Nagato really has it out for me, apparently. He's firing on me again. And let's see if can we dodge it. Yep. Looks like he fired a little short. Don't know what he was expecting to do, but this battle is not going to be around for very much longer. As soon as they lose another ship, we're going to win, because we can't really cap, because the Nagato can always reset us. Because there's a point where we actually get really close to capping, but the Nagato hits someone and resets the cap. So, yeah, we're going to win just by killing. See how long that takes. But I think that's a pretty good example on the Fiji. I think Fiji is definitely going to be an improvement once I actually get her upgraded, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm actually going to end this review off here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.